Do coffee enemas work? Yes, but not for what all the claims are for from all these companies, and there are risks, which do include death. I will discuss both the correct benefits and the risks in this video so that you can make your own decision on whether you use them and how you feel about those that advertise them. I'm Eloise, I'm a UK pharmacist for over 20 years, and I am passionate about clear, accurate information that everyone can understand. I want everyone to understand their medicines and supplements and be able to do self-care on a budget. In this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of coffee when you drink it orally, as it should be, the benefits of coffee enemas, and the dangers of coffee enemas. There will be timestamps in the description below if you want to skip straight to one section. But before I start on the content, here are my disclaimers. The information I provide is for educational information only and is my own opinion. However, I do base it on the most up-to-date medical evidence that is out there. But always contact your own healthcare professional for individual advice on your personal situation. Drinking coffee itself has benefits, even though it seems to get demonised, the drinking of coffee. The reason why is they usually claim about the caffeine in it. Yes, too much of caffeine can have side effects, especially in those that are sensitive, such as increasing your heart rate, your blood pressure, can lead to symptoms of anxiety and lead to insomnia if you take it too much in the evening. Also, being pregnant or on certain medications like oral contraceptives can mean that your caffeine stays in your body longer and enhances those effects. So it can be sensible in those situations to limit the amount of coffee that you were drinking or any caffeine containing products. However, the coffee bean itself comes from a plant and it has many beneficial components that are useful. There are over 1,000 chemicals in coffee, and many of them are antioxidants, polyphenols, and even fibre. So, as part of a balanced diet, these can actually have a good positive effect on your gut microbiome and the rest of your body. Studies have even shown that drinking coffee may even help you live longer. I've attached an article below from the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine that has links to some of these studies. So they can show that coffee drinkers are less likely to die of coronary heart disease, stroke, diabetes, kidney disease. The drinking of coffee can reduce the risk of heart failure, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, colon cancer, may even help you process glucose better and keep your DNA less likely to mutate into cancer cells. But obviously, this is all just as part of a healthy diet, as just concentrating on just one ingredient in your diet in isolation can become problematic to your body as well. But yeah, drinking coffee can help with your gut flora. But if you want to help your gut flora, the best way is by having a balanced diet. Recommended maybe trying to have 30 different plant-based foods during the week is the best way to increase your gut flora, biodiversity, and increase your overall health. So, yeah, most of the benefits that are promoted for caffeine enemas are actually those that you can actually just get from drinking coffee normally. So now we'll move on to the benefits of coffee enemas. And it doesn't take much to do a Google search to find a whole host of outlandish claims on what coffee enemas can do, even going as far as saying that they can cure cancer. They mainly fall into the category of getting rid of toxins out of the body, helping eliminate problematic parasites, candida, heavy metals out of your system. They then go on about increasing energy levels, assisting with weight loss, boosting immunity, helping your blood circulation. And as you've probably already gathered, some of these benefits are actually just the benefits of coffee that we've already talked about. Because, yes, if you put a coffee enema into your colon, a certain amount of the coffee will get absorbed into your system, especially the caffeine. It will get absorbed into the system. But it'll have the same benefits as increasing your energy, but it will also have those same side effects. It's still going straight into your system. And in fact, it can actually provide a quicker increase in symptoms of caffeine because it actually enters your blood system quicker than drinking your caffeine orally. So you will still get all those side effects of caffeine, the jitteriness, the palpitations. When it comes to eliminating toxins out your system, you don't actually have toxins in your system that need eliminating. If you have functioning kidneys, anything that's water soluble, your body will excrete. If you have a functioning liver, it will be able to break down and eliminate any other toxins that are in your system, and that will enter into your intestines. And as long as you're not severely constipated, your intestines will eliminate on a regular basis out of your system without any need for actually having any additional enemas. So when it actually comes to the evidence of what can coffee enemas do, when you actually look at a systematic reviews for what they can do, there's only ever very slight benefits, and those benefits are actually for relieving constipation, both physically, as in enemas can remove a blockage out the colon to allow your system to move along, as well as caffeine taken either orally or via an enema. Caffeine actually increases your gut motility so that your actual intestines move along and excrete out your normal stools as they are supposed to. Yes, some of the benefits of the decreasing lipids and cholesterol as improving thyroid function, those are known benefits of drinking coffee. You do not need to have it via an enema. So when it comes to actually needing to have coffee as an enema to get the benefits, you don't need to. You can drink your coffee and you will get the benefits that are shown. And if you do actually have a blockage in your colon, then actually you need to go get medical help. You actually need to go and be given laxatives or enemas that are properly prescribed, properly safe, and we know that you can be looked after correctly. In this last section, I'm going to move on to the side effects and the problems of using coffee enemas. And just a warning that this section was a lot harder to research and record than I thought it would be, because actually reading the case reports of people that died is quite upsetting. So feel free to zoom through when I get into those details. So I'm going to be using a systematic review of case reports, and I'll include the link below so that if you did want to read all the details about this, you can. They did this review because they thought it would be of benefit as public health information to have this evidence-based information out there, especially seen as though the coffee enema use is growing, but there's very limited evidence to actually support any benefits from its use. So when it comes to the different problems of using coffee enemas, as we've already discussed before, when you take coffee enemas, you do absorb the caffeine and the other elements and chemicals that are in coffee, and you will therefore have the same side effects and everything that you would have if you took coffee orally. So those people that have problems with jitteriness, anxiety and everything from that, you'll still get it from having it as an enema. It's not a benign route. You still do absorb things. But unfortunately, your colon isn't designed for fluid and nutrients to come in. It's not what it's for. It's usually for storing and then expelling the stools. So when it comes to actually pushing things into the rectum, this can be problematic. So some of the most obvious ones were rectal burns, and this is from people when they have actually had the coffee and heated it up and not allowed it to cool down enough to body temperature before they actually use it. There's also, there can be what's known as chemical burns because of how sensitive the rectal area and the colon is. There may still be cleaning solution in the catheter from the last use, and some of the ingredients within coffee can actually be quite irritant in the bowel and cause irritation. Moving on from the irritation, there is the possibility of what's known as colitis, which is inflammation of the colon. And this can be directly from the actual physical amount of fluid in there, or the irritants that are actually in the coffee. And also there may even be the chance of actually introducing bacteria into the colon, which then can cause an infection in there. And it has been shown in animal studies that coffee on the colon tissue is not of any benefit and is irritated. Then this can also move on to actual sepsis. So this is where you've introduced a bacterial infection into the colon, and then it actually moves into the bloodstream to actually cause sepsis, which is a medical emergency. Also, depending on how much fluid is put into the colon, there is the risk of perforation of the bowel, and there have been case reports of perforation of bowel. And that's literally putting the fluid into the colon. The colon can't cope with the amount of pressure, and unfortunately, it just ruptures. And then all of the contents of your colon, including the stools and the bacteria in there, go into your abdominal cavity. And again, that is a medical emergency, can lead to peritonitis and sepsis and death. So really is something that if you are requiring an enema, this should be something that is done under medical supervision and not just as self-care at home. And I went on to actually have a look at the deaths that have been associated. And these are quite sad situations, because obviously the people that have done these have been in a very hard situation. They feel as though Western medicine and traditional medicine isn't providing them with the answers, and they are suffering, and they're trying to find another way out. But I will just read a couple of these. So, one patient with cancer and another with multiple diseases rejected conventional treatment and decided to do high frequency of the coffee enemas at home. And both of the patients died shortly thereafter. So the autopsy results showed that it was from low salt, and that's because as the coffee fluid was going in, it was actually going in such a sufficient amount that it was actually then pulling sodium chloride out of the bloodstream, and then causing the depletion in electrolytes in the body, and it did lead to death. In another one, it was a breast cancer patient who has metastases to the liver and ended up experiencing hepatic failure quicker than they would have done because of bacteria getting into their system from the use of the enemas. And in all the case reports where the patients had died, they had all been warned against the use of coffee enemas, but they still carried on because of the desperate situations that they are in. So even if people are in such desperate situations, we need to get the message out there that sometimes looking for these alternative treatments can actually cause more damage than just going with the traditional methods. So sorry that this isn't a very good ending, because it is hard, but thank you for all of those that have actually managed to get to the end of this video, and hopefully you are a lot more informed about it. And when you see these coffee enemas advertised, you'll be able to understand why these shouldn't be done, why these shouldn't be promoted. Obviously, the risks are small, but the risks are very severe. If you have got to this point, then well done, and comment below with either Starbucks or Costa or your favourite brand of coffee that you are going to drink properly. And if you would like to see more videos about this sort of content, please make sure that you subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what other different supplements, different things that are out there that you would like my expertise on and my opinion on. There will be a couple of my previous videos attached to this so that you can go back and watch those, which are hopefully a lot more positive and helpful than this one. So thank you very much.